The main reason America says it's still in Syria is out there, in the cold dust that hides the remnants of ISIS.
Over the years, bombs like these have slowly pinned ISIS down into smaller and smaller territory. Their last sliver of desert there on the Syrian-Iraqi border, where possibly their leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi could be hiding out. But in this last stage of the fight, the problems and indeed the enemies the Syrian Kurds here and their American allies face continue to mount.
Last night, another new enemy emerged near here. Tanks and 500 militants loyal to the Syrian regime advanced on and shelled American commandos and their Syrian Kurdish allies not far west of here. US warplanes and gunships killed 100 of them. The rest fled. What on earth just happened last night and why haunts the US Special Operations Commander.
Yeah, I guess I am a little bit surprised. Whoever that was knew that the SDF were in defensible positions and knows that they're a fierce opponent.
Does your head begin to spin occasionally when you just look around going, where do the enemies stop and where does the good news begin?
It can be complex out here if you try to take into all those factors. The good thing about being in the military is that we usually have a military mission, and our military mission out here is to defeat ISIS.
When that attack began, this Kurdish commander rang a Russian military monitor meant to keep the peace here to ask what was happening. He told me there were no movements, he says, and then that they were happening without their permission. An hour later, he rang and asked for a ceasefire. It's strange. Russia is a great power and knows about any move from the regime. They bear responsibility for yesterday. Kicking ISIS out of Syria and Raqqa below has left a vacuum, but also devastation. Nobody knows how many are buried under the rubble below. Yet the US is trying to help rebuild, to clear the endless mines ISIS hid in even toys or refrigerators, and paying for new local police lining the streets.
Well, that's one of the contradictions you're dealing with. You want people to come back, but you also have to accept that it may not be safe for them to do so. You want to help, but at the same time, you know you can't stay here forever. Are you worried people are going to end up blaming the US if this place isn't rebuilt in a heartbeat?
We've learned lessons the wrong way to do this, and I think that we are doing a very good job of making sure that everything we're doing here is through the Raqqa Civil Council, the governing body here that is dictating and providing the guidance for whatever we are doing to try to help.
ISIS surely never expected to have US commandos touring their execution amphitheatre, or even ordering 20 chicken kebabs on the street here. The message to the outside world, it's safe enough to come and help rebuild. I was the first person to reopen here, he says. We need basic services, water, electricity. I had 3 mines in my own home, but the local council removed them. Life is rushing back here because no one can wait for the rubble to be cleared, the mines to be gone.